bitches go.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Andy Ruiz says Anthony Joshua has the perfect style for his style, stylistically. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, we unpack coming to you live. The last 3 days, the previous 3 days have been a press tour for Andy Ruiz rematching Joshua. So a lot of quotes, and they're about to enter their respective training camps to prepare, for December 7th. And I'm looking forward to it. Good heavyweight fight. The first fight had a lot of action. Joshua claims he knows what he did wrong, said some weird things, but you know, I want to analyze some things from the Ruiz side of things. And before I get started, ESPN Plus, by the time this video starts, you'll only have a few hours. Sign up below for the UFC 242 Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Dustin Poirier. Is going to be a good fight. And purchase the UFC pay-per-view below using my link, and it helps the channel as I am an affiliate. So let's get into the quotes from Andy Ruiz. He's referring to, he was asked about how does it feel to be a champ and, you know, announced as unified champion. Andy Ruiz says, "It's amazing. I don't want anyone to stop calling me that, but I've got to work hard, stay disciplined, and win on December 7th. Inside the ring, there's not going to be no respect and no friends between me and him. We just need to put that switch on, and it's go time. Thanks to Al Heyman and PBC, we made an agreement, and we took the fight to Saudi Arabia. It's a perfect way to go over to Saudi Arabia and make history all over again." He said it changed a lot, not just for me, but for my family's life and my kids' lives. We don't have to struggle no more like we were, paying bills and the rent, stuff like that. I'm really blessed, and I give glory to God and how he changed my life. Of course, I'm still motivated. I'm still hungry, and I want to win more fights. I want to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm not looking past Anthony Joshua, but I've got to get that win on December 7th. He goes on to say, Anthony Joshua, his style is perfect for me. Whatever he does, I don't think it's going to make a difference. He can move around, he can jab around, but I'm always going to be there. If he moves to the left, then I'm going to be on the left throwing combinations. So that's the different purpose between me and other fighters. That's what makes me a different champion. Of course, he should be thinking that too, and that's exactly what happened to him with the Klitschko's. He got dropped, he got back up, and he finished the fight. That's exactly what I did on June 1st. Yeah, he should have something to worry about. But I never underestimate no fighter, not him or the guy I just beat, because me and him have a loss. I learned a lot, and I was scared to lose. That's why I don't want to lose, and I'm not going to lose on December 7th. It's going to be one hell of a fight. I don't really predict what's going to happen or the knockdown. We just know we're going to train to get that victory and be victorious. Listen, Andy Ruiz is, in my opinion, talking the perfect talk. He's saying what I like to hear as a fan, and I'm going to go over it. First of all, a lot of people are puppets in this boxing game, both media and fans. Come to New Media, come to Death Row East, the real side, where we talk and break down analytically boxing. You know, I am your host, Ego. If you like what I'm doing here, you can hit the subscribe button, like, comment, you know, send a donation, become a member, join, all that good stuff. But there are a lot of people that are insinuating or suggesting that Andy Ruiz is somehow so different and he's this different person. He's out here spending recklessly and he lost all his hunger. Get the fuck out of here, bro. First of all, he looked hungry. He got the jarritos and the plate right there, so the motherfucker hungry. No, I'm just playing. But you know, where are people getting this? Like, people expected this man to jump into training camp and have a six-pack by now, and he ain't fighting until December 7th. To me, Andy Ruiz and his trainer Manny, they've done exactly what they were supposed to do. They took the call. First of all, after the top, we'll back the train up. After they had whatever split and bought themselves out of their contract with Top Rank, they weren't getting moved after the Joseph Parker fight, and things were stagnating. Andy Ruiz was considering retiring and quitting boxing. I don't know, maybe be a plumber or something. I don't know what he was planning on doing, but things weren't going well. You know, it sounded like he had bills and, you know, financial worries and couldn't get fights. This is how a fighter makes their livelihood, by fighting. It's not like Andy Ruiz was doing blow-by-blow commentary, picking up a paycheck on Top Rank or anything. So anyway, he links up with the most powerful advisor, Al Heyman, and then he has a, you know, fight on the Danny Garcia Granados card. Not a big fight that people were talking about, but a guy who lost to Brian Jennings, Dimitrenko. He knocks him out, retires him on the stool. Cool, collects a paycheck. Then their team did what they're supposed to do. Gerald Big Baby Miller failed a drug test. Boom. Opportunity presented itself. They took it. Quick turnaround from the Dimitrenko fight on the Danny Garcia, because the Danny Garcia fight was the day of the Terrence. My memory is crazy. The day Terrence Crawford fought Amir Khan, which was like April 20th or something, late April, right? That's when Andy Ruiz fought, right? He fought Dimitrenko, retired him on the stool on that same card. So just to put in perspective, when Crawford Khan that night, Danny Garcia fought in California and Andy Ruiz fought in California on that Danny Garcia Granados card. Because I remember watching, it was like a ton of boxing on that night. So anyway, he had a quick ass turnaround. He got the call because Gerald Miller messed up somewhere in between that. Hey, you want to fight Anthony Joshua? Gerald Miller fucked up, dropped a PED test. We need a decent name, or somebody's going to have an action style. And he took it. Point blank period. He even signed a contract that kind of limited him in the rematch, but he took it, and the rest is history. He beat Joshua, right? Now, coming off of the heels of 2 back-to-back fights with preparation in a quick period of time, people are expecting him, after he just changed his life and became the first ever Mexican American to get this honor of being the heavyweight champion of the world. You expect him to just go back into training camp and, you know, put the plate down, put the fork down, not take his kids to Disneyland, not, you know, kick it with a couple rappers and, you know, celebrity people, and go to Pacquiao Thurman, and he's just supposed to be doing jump ropes and all kinds of shit. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. That just sounds trash. That sounds stupid, because first of all, if Andy Ruiz had no work ethic, then he wouldn't have been able to pull off in that amount of time what he pulled off with Joshua. So I applaud him for, as long as he's not doing drugs or something crazy that's, you know, gonna have lasting effects or longer term effects, things like that, then I don't see nothing. He wants to eat a meal out and eat a nice steak dinner, you know, eat some empanadas, fucking tortas or some shit. Who cares? You're supposed to do that. Listen, if you guys know anything about fitness, if you are too strict on yourself, right, and your willpower is kind of sketch, you know, people have moments of weakness. That's what causes people to binge eat, because they're being far too strict on themselves. No cheat meal, no cheat day, nothing. And then they just strict, and they're eating like a rabbit. And one day they, you know, try somebody's hot wing. Oh shit, this is good. Give me another one. And then they go order a pizza, and, you know, the rest is history. I know people who have competed in bodybuilding tournaments, and their diet was so strict and bland, you know, chicken, rice, whatever they're eating, veggies, that immediately after the competition, they do whatever, place wherever, and then they go get a big ass box of donuts and just eat them, you know, just eat a big ass pizza, shit like that. So I think I have no problem with rewarding yourself within reason. If you reward yourself for a job well done, when you prove something like what Andy Ruiz proved to himself in the world, man, I could beat this guy. This is David and Goliath. I don't know how tall Andy Ruiz, they say 6'2.5". He looks shorter to me. You know, He doesn't look that tall. Joshua's this big behemoth of a mountain of a man and shit, 6'6". He did the unthinkable. He deserves to, in this couple of months while Eddie Hearn was playing games and, you know, the back and forth banter of Saudi Arabia trying to jockey for position and get more money and, you know, threaten him by saying he had to fight in America and all that, you know, the politics shit. He deserved to be able to relax a little bit as you see him with his kids, take them out, you know, Universal Studios and shit, and just relax, buy a couple nice things. Listen, a lot of y'all motherfuckers is broke as fuck because you worry about the spending habits of another man. What the fuck does that have to do with boxing? Listen, new media, we came to change the game. The way the game is perceived, what the focal points are. I don't care what Andy Ruiz buys. If he wants to buy jewelry, if he wants to buy a trap house, if he wants to buy, you know, a cannabis dispensary, a new whip, you know, get new tattoos and ink. What does that got to do with me as a boxing fan? You know, as long as he ain't doing nothing illegal, you know, like some heinous crime against kids or something, you know, who cares? Who cares if he wants to buy a whip? That ain't your money. You didn't do that. So I have no problem with Ruiz buying a couple whips or buying his mama a house. And as far as this notion that he's so different, I mean, I don't know him like that, but I'm just telling you what I've seen. I don't think he's different. I think he's just proud. He's getting a newfound attention that he's never received in his career. He's been slept on. He's been counted out, and he's feeling himself. Look, he man's dapper. He put on for the big dudes. You know, all the big dudes got some pussy after Andy Ruiz won. Rick Ross, oh, fat boy, Wingstop fat boy needed 10 piece. Oh, motherfucker. All the T Grizzly, all them was winning after Andy Ruiz. Skinny guys couldn't get no pussy. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So I don't have a problem with chains and jewelry and shit like that. See, y'all don't come from some of the same places. You get what I'm saying? So, some of y'all don't come from the mud. Some of y'all don't come from poverty. That's why you don't understand it. You don't understand the mindset. I think you have to be smart with your money and stuff, like, but you know, him getting some nice shades and glass, I don't care about that. I care about this fight and the fight game, period. You know, so I just had to go on that little rant. As far as Andy Ruiz, keep doing your thing. Now it's time to focus. You already have the announcement, flyers made, press tour concluded. Start getting it in, you know. So I had no problem with that little, you know, sabbatical or whatever, where he was just chilling. You're supposed to do that. You don't want, like, see, I believe in overtraining to a degree. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he would have just went from Dimitrenko, had a quick ass turnaround, upset Joshua in a fight where he was tested. Joshua landed a couple good shots, you know, and obviously the shot that knocked him down in the third round, even though he won that round, you know. So Joshua gave him maybe a tougher fight than some people think, just because of the brief moment of adversity. Even though Joshua, I don't think it was a good performance by Joshua, he was still, Ruiz it wasn't Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, you know, where it was just totally one-sided. There was a couple good shots that Joshua landed, like even after the knockdown, he landed a couple good shots and stuff. It just, people expected more in its entirety for the performance. So if he would have just went from Dimitrenko, knocked him out, quick ass turnaround, got the call, and Joshua immediately jumped back in camp, and then he proved to himself that he can do this. He on Jimmy Kimmel and all this stuff, and then just went right back into training. I would be worried about that more than what he's doing. He's supposed to visit the president of Mexico. Who wouldn't? Fuck, I'd rather visit the president of Mexico than the U.S. president, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, he's supposed to do stuff like that because you don't want to mentally fatigue and burn yourself out, because all you're doing is work. You know, you fuck around and be like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Here's Johnny, you know, and give me the goddamn bat. You know, you fuck around and have cabin fever if you just do nothing but work, especially after back-to-back training camps, you know. Now, after I beat Anthony Joshua, I think I need to go. Like, it doesn't even make sense, like, to be just to hibernate and go back into the gym and shit like that. And that's why you see fighters like Tim Bradley, he be in crazy shape. But then in his off season, he looks, muscular, but not shredded like he does because it's hard work. It's hard work to run 8 miles and shit like that and get ripped and shredded and have this diet to a T. So I like what Ruiz is saying, and I like what Ruiz is doing. Now it's time to scale all of that stuff back and focus on the task at hand, because now we're, this year is going to go by fast, and first week of December, you got to be ready. So, to be honest, while a lot of people are talking about this, Ruiz has lost hunger. I would be more concerned, ego. I would be more concerned if Ruiz jumped into another training camp and was already in shape right now. That would be more concerning, because that's just mental stress or fatigue. With what Ruiz is saying and how he's acting, his demeanor, I like it. Joshua, on the other hand, not so much, because Joshua has been inconsistent. Joshua has said stuff and lied and then changed it and double backed and switched. So, that's not necessarily just going to indicate who wins this fight. Listen, I'm picking Andy Ruiz to win this. This is not a personal choice, like it never is. It's always business. It's never nothing personal. I pick Ruiz, though, because I like the stylistic matchup. I like where his head's at, etc. I think Joshua has so much to prove, and he has to prove it to himself. Listen, you could convince the world of different things. Like, I know people who flex on Instagram and it look like they're living a better life, or, got money. And then I know them. I know you don't got money like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier to almost fool the world than it is to fool the person that you look at every day. When you drive and you look in that rearview mirror and you wash your face, you look in the bathroom, you see that big ass mirror. It's hard to lie to that man or that woman, that person, So Joshua, he can say whatever he's saying in interviews, but to me, I just get this inkling he does not believe what he is saying, because if he truly believed, I do believe, if he truly believed what he was saying, I think his statements would come out better and they would come out more consistent. Ruiz, look at his quotes. Joshua's style is perfect for me. He has been consistent with what he's saying. He says, I'm the champ. I call the shots. I would like to fight in the US or Mexico. And while he was debating with Joshua's side, that's what he kept saying. I'm not trying to fight in the UK. I want to fight in the US or Mexico. And I want my team to see if they can get that done. Meanwhile, Joshua says, yeah, this is my vlog, my loss, the reason I lost from my perspective. And he did this whole episode on the vlog, filling the people in like he's Logan Paul on his life and why he lost. When we all watched the fight, we know why you lost. And he literally said, I want to go back to the scene of the crime where this happened, and I want to make it right. I'll make it right at the scene of the crime in New York. Why not? And then Eddie Hearn immediately did interviews in the following days after that was released on Joshua's page and made public, and everyone's reacting like, damn, Joshua said he wants to go back to New York. And Eddie Hearn said, man, this dude's crazy. He want to go back to New York where it was disastrous. And guess what? The powers that be rematch room made sure it didn't happen in New York, because they know. Why wouldn't they do it in New York? I think Joshua, that would be the best, or just on Andy Ruiz's terms, because that would show if Joshua is mentally where they're acting like he is, like, oh, I'm just a clean slate and I have no pressure and stuff, then why not fight in Andy Ruiz's territory? That'll really make a statement. Amir Khan fought Lamont Peterson in DC, where he's from, because they know this is do or die. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and they know Joshua must win this fight. This is going to be very bad if Joshua doesn't win this fight. So they want him, and if they had it contractually, which it sounds like they did, they wanted to make sure he has the best possible chance of winning. They're pulling out all the stops. They don't want to take no shorts, no losses. That's why they're not doing it back where it happened, right? They wanted to pull it to the UK, but they realized they would get backlash making them fight in the UK. Like, okay, you need hometown advantage. advantage. And then they came out with this, scheme because there's money out there in the UAE and shit in Saudi Arabia. So they were able to come up on a big site fee. And now they're selling it as, oh yeah, this is an area and we're rebuilding this area and this is going to be a mecca for boxing. We haven't really seen any fights out there. So, and like I said, this is my opinion, Saudi definitely benefits Joshua more. That's a 5.5 hour flight from the UK from London versus if you're coming from California, that's 16 hours. If you're coming from Mexico, that's 26 hours to go to Saudi Arabia. So it definitely benefits Joshua more, and they know that. So that proves to me that Joshua's confidence is fragile right now. He could say whatever he wants and do interviews. Oh yeah, I feel great, no pressure. I don't have pressure because I don't have a belt. Andy Ruiz, he's the champion. This is why what Joshua is saying is scatterbrained and all over the place, all in the video. It's not making sense. He said, I'll fight Ruiz in Mexico, in Tijuana. His uncle could be the ref. I'll fight at the scene of the crime in New York. I'm a fighter. This is what he said. But you fighting in Saudi Arabia. So the lie detector test determined that was a lie, right? Joshua also has said that Andy Ruiz scored a lucky punch and he's not that skillful. That's what he said. She said, were you surprised on the Joshua Untold story? The reporter said, were you surprised with how skillful Andy Ruiz was? His immediate reply, no hesitation, he's not that skillful. And then at the press conference, he just said Andy Ruiz is the best heavyweight and he's a skillful guy and he's the champion and he's the best heavyweight on the scene. So one, that's kind of weird because you never fought Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. So out of the big three, we don't know if he's the best on the scene. We just know he kicked your ass. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just Joshua. He's too finicky and iffy. I can't trust that. I can't trust somebody who's this iffy in a major fight like this, because if the going gets tough, I feel like mentally, just like the first fight, Joshua is more inclined to fold because he hasn't proven to himself that he can beat him. And I feel like I'm really trying to analyze this. Why, back to what Andy Ruiz says, he has the perfect style for me. He says his style is perfect for me. Whatever he does, I don't think it's going to make a difference. He can move around. He can jab. I'm always going to be there. Andy Ruiz is fast and fat. People are saying he's fat, but he's fast. It's hard to really gauge, It's really hard to gauge because he's not even that much taller than Danny Garcia. That's what I'm saying. And he's coming in, he's moving a little bit, and he has quick ass hands. Joshua cannot let him on the inside, but he finds a way on the inside because he has a constant pressure. Joshua also seems to have stamina issues when he's not in charge of the pace. Are you in charge of the girls? I am in charge of the girl. Are you in charge of the girls? What movie is that from? Joshua likes to fight. He's a front runner almost, He likes to fight at his pace, his comfortable pace. He's dictating. So if he bow hits you with the 1-2 and you start acting like Pefect, then he goes in for the kill. Boom. That's his perfect game plan. And then he's like, acting like, after he knocks you out and shit, trying to do like Mike Tyson and stuff. That's his perfect MO. But the difference is Andy Ruiz was the rose that grew from the concrete, like Tupac would say. And when he dropped him, he got sloppy and he went in for the kill and he tried to jump on him. And Andy Ruiz wasn't going out like no punk. He was do it for la raza, and hit him with the tempo shot. But see, this is the other issue stylistically, stamina. Ruiz fights at a pace that suits him a lot more than Joshua. Joshua, I don't think he has the stamina to fight at that pace, and I don't think that's the pace that he wants. So he's going to have to slow that pace. But Joshua's not really good at boxing on the back foot to me. Excuse me. So Joshua's going to have to make serious alterations in his game plan and learn in 4 or 5 months time with the same team, basically. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's boxing. It's not out of the question. Joshua has some good attributes. He's tall, he's big, he's powerful. So if he catches him right and things just keep going his way, that's cool. But stylistically, I still see this Ruiz giving him a lot of problems. and he can't let Ruiz get any confidence. Like, what do you think is going to happen if Ruiz draws first blood and drops Joshua in Saudi Arabia? Joshua's heart rate's going to go up, and he's going to relive the first fight, and he's going to be like, oh shit, I got dropped. This is embarrassing. I'm in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? There might be a law against me getting dropped that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to revert back to almost panic mode. The other thing I noticed is Joshua is not good under siege, under duress. When Ruiz kept applying pressure, he didn't know what to do. And he's like getting hit, like, you know, gunshots is going off and stuff like that. And Ruiz is like seeing that and just like letting his hand go, bop, 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 bop. And that's just, you know, recipe for disaster. So I don't know how he's going to improve that in this amount of time. To me, for Joshua to win, he's just going to have to, you know, score first and draw first blood, and everything's going his way. But I just feel like if it's a battle of attrition, who do you think will take it to that level? I'm going off the guy that took it to the level of the first fight, because that's exactly what happened, you know? And I really don't like the way Joshua responds to volume punching. It looks like he's almost offended that you're fighting back. Like, he's not used to that. I don't know if he's used to fighting UK guys or whatever, but he almost looks offended that you're throwing back. Like, what the fuck is this? See, the thing with Joseph Parker is they had a weak ass referee, and he wouldn't let Joseph Parker fight on the inside. Parker was doing some decent work, and his shot, being the shorter person, was to rough it up on the inside. But I also think part of Parker's temperament, it was weird. When he was a champion, he seemed like a worse fighter than when he's not a champion. Parker seems like better to me, not as the IBF champion. It's really weird. Like how he fought Dillian White, you know, he seemed better, even though he was coming off a loss and no longer a champion. He just knocked out a dude, you know, in New Zealand or something. So he actually seems better, not champion. I don't know if it's the pressure of being a champion. I don't know. But Parker, between the ref and his natural, he lacks the type of aggression. Joshua has no choice but to respect. You know, Parker, he just lacks that type of kind of killer instinct aggression. Andy Ruiz is Mexican. You know, he coming for you. Not to stereotype, but his style is what Abel Sanchez would call Mexican style, but he can also box. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like Joshua, he's almost lying to himself with these interviews. And I do think his style is perfect for Andy Ruiz. I think Andy Ruiz, if he can get on the inside, that's going to be fun. It's a 12-round fight. Unless it's an early knockout or something, you're going to get hit. I think Joshua, like, see, this was around the time where Andy Ruiz was getting in crazy. He was like getting in, you see, he was in like really good shape. I think he should do that, and that'll really fuck. Look at him. He look a bit slimmer. He should get his body down like that, because he already has the hand speed. He already has power. You don't have to do too much there. So chill out. You can change your whole life with this. Slim down. He said he wanted to be 255. I think he'd be a cool 250, 254, you know, and just go to work. Joshua's slimming down too. Bro, man, I'm picking Andy Ruiz. I can't wait to break this fight down. I really can't. Another reason is Andy Ruiz did all this stuff gordo, right? He didn't even look like he was in too much of any type of shape, for example. That's why people were body shaming him and making memes like, oh, I'm canceling my gym membership. But the thing is, he still works hard. You know, he'll outwork you, and he big. You know what I'm saying? He got some extra pounds to him, but he'll outwork the average Joe getting off the couch. That's what people don't understand about this game. I know a lot of bigger dudes like that, you know? Like, look, he's doing shit. Look. The average person that look big and drink beer and shit, like all nonstop, they not finna do all this. You know what I'm saying? That's what people don't understand. There's a difference between being big and athletic and just being big for no reason. Like, look at his foot. Like, look at his feet. Just some Homer Simpson looking motherfucker ain't gonna be able to do all that with the knees high and stuff. I'm telling you. So people underestimate, like per usual, Andy Ruiz and you'll say all this stuff. But anyway, the other thing I want to say is this. Andy Ruiz, he just comes in with a very good, I feel like a good headspace. He's improved the quality of life for his family, and he comes in with that kind of energy. Like, man, if I win this again, we living even better, you know, because I prove it's not a fluke, right? If I lose, there's no rematch clause for a third fight. Just so you guys know, there's no rematch clause. So if they lose, then it's over for Joshua. He's gonna have to climb back up the ladder. He don't have an immediate guaranteed, you know, Willy Wonka gold ticket back to a title shot. You know, he's gonna have to work his way through the rankings and shit like that, especially if he lose bad, or he might even retire. You know, the way Joshua acts, I wouldn't be surprised if he retired if he got stopped again. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I think Ruiz, he comes in with a clear head. You know, he knows what he did in the first fight, and he knows he battled and weathered the storm. So now he could just tighten up and try to make sure he don't get hit with that two-piece, beautiful two-piece from Joshua, the uppercut hook combo, and just work on that. And he can come having a full camp instead of 5-6 weeks to train, come with the full camp and get in some meaner shape and stuff like that. Joshua, I don't know what they're doing in the UK, to be honest. I really don't. Like, I don't understand some of the training that Joshua does. Oh, that's a cool picture with SOG. Shout out to Andre Ward. He said sitting next to Andre at the Rios Alvarado 2 fight. Hella cool dude. Facts. Dre's hella cool. But here's the other thing. I don't understand, like, just half of the exercise, like, watch a montage of Joshua working out, right? And he's doing a bunch of stuff that's not even really boxing specific. But beyond that, Joshua looks like he's slimming down and dropping pounds. I don't really, this is just my opinion, because obviously I haven't seen him slim down. But in my opinion, I don't know if that really helps him. You had issues with your chin, which you can't really train, and durability. So you not being this big, imposing, stronger size-wise and hella hub, and you coming in lighter, Ruiz is going to be within probably, 9 to 12 pounds of what he was in the first fight. So in a clinch and stuff, you being lighter, I don't know if that really suits or benefits Joshua. I was really thinking about that. Like, why is he slimming down? Like, I don't understand why he's slimming down. Who told him to do that? Like, I don't know. And see, this is it's just, you never know until because training in the gym versus actually being in the fight under bright lights, you don't know how your body's going to respond to it. Headgear versus your heart rate elevated if you get dropped, or, it's just a fight. You got nerves and different shit like that. So I just don't know Joshua being lighter. I don't know if that really benefits him. I was really trying to think this through and see if that really benefits him, and makes him more of a monster. Like, I don't think that's the only reason why he has stamina issues. You get what I'm saying? And so just coming in simply lighter, I think there's also an adverse effect that could happen in Joshua's situation in the heavyweight division. Your durability might be affected by all of a sudden coming down and being lighter and easier to move. You might be able to get ragdolled more so than you could when you were this tank, and this imposing figure. Like Joshua, I don't know. I just don't know if him slimming down really benefits him. Like, he already looks smaller. There's a couple of pictures I've seen and he looks a lot smaller. Like, this is how he came into the first fight. So I don't know. That remains to be seen. This is just kind of like a hypothesis. Like, Joshua was big as fuck in the first fight. I don't think that was really his issue. His issue was more so evading the punches and things like that. And I don't really think it was necessarily due to his size. I think it's due to his discipline and his style of fight and what he's learned in training, and just the way he was responding to the punches. But hey, commend him for taking the immediate rematch and I guess trying something different with his body. But I think that could go way south as well, because Joshua, he looked like he was in shape the first fight. you know. So I don't know. Maybe it could be the opposite. I'm just going off of what I seen. I don't really think it was shape that gave Joshua the disadvantage. Like, hold on. I want y'all to see these pictures. Just so you guys know, because we unpack coming to you live. Look, I don't know if that benefits him. Especially like even from like a, I don't know what's the word, psychological advantage or psychological edge. You looked imposing, you know, had that aura, and he still did that to you. Now that aura, you don't look as big, you don't look as like much of a behemoth, a juggernaut. You know, he's still in shape, still big, but he just don't look like hella big. So just from a psychological advantage, seeing that, I would, you put it this way, who would you rather fight, Mike Epps or Damon from Friday, or Debo? You feel what I'm saying? Like, he would look like Debo and Damon in the first picture, and then now you look, you know, just like in cool shape, like a Mike Epps or something, you know? So, I don't know. I'm just foreshadowing a little bit like I do because we unpack. I do think his style is the problem, not really his shape. It's his teaching. It's how this is why Lennox Lewis was saying he should probably get a new coach or whatever. But like I said, he wants to do it his way. We'll see what happens. We unpack. That's my thoughts. I think Andy Ruiz can really set history as long as he remains disciplined, doesn't get over his head, doesn't panic, you know, just be the same person he was in the first. I think Joshua is the one that really has to switch a lot, and he has to prove it to himself, and that's always going to be harder. So we'll see how it plays out December 7th. We unpack coming to you live. Let me know what you guys think. If you like what I'm doing, you can subscribe, you can donate, you can hit the like button, share the video, all the good stuff. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.